tuned into your station, the Africa Independent Television, and welcome to your program, Security Watch Africa. On this channel and on this program, we'll give you information you need to keep your life safe and secure every Friday. We go every length to bring you that information that you require. Wherever it is, we'll bring it to you. I say welcome to the program today. My name still remains Patrick Abambo. Today, it's actually a day we'll continue with the report we did for our visit to Gombe State. Last week, we brought you what is happening in Gombe State, the re-engineering of policing, and which we, Security Watch Africa, is recommending for every state command police state command in Nigeria to emulate what is happening. The kind of plan and program that the police command led by CP Austin Iwa is doing is something that must be emulated even by the force headquarters itself, and with the support of the government. Youths have been taken off the street. What seems to be difficult in the past is being taken care of. We say welcome to the program today. Today we'll be continuing with that, but not without actually registering the sad news we got this morning about the twin bomb that took place in Maiduguri. Our team there in Maiduguri just reported about the bomb. When a lot of Nigerians are beginning to celebrate that the era of bombing is getting off our system, it seems that the Boko Haram insurgents are re-insurging again. They are trying to show that they are still existing. We must call on all the security agencies, please don't take your eyes off the responsibilities you are doing, because once you take your eyes off, these boys will strike. And to say that a number of persons was killed is quite saddening. When the international community, even here Security Watch, were beginning to commend the security agencies, and this is happening, it's quite troubling. And both the military, the secret services, the police must put their hands on the deck and make sure that this doesn't happen. We must not continue to lose lives. Maybe they should go on to Gombe State and emulate what is happening over there in Gombe. I would say that what we saw in Gombe was quite encouraging, and that is why we are recommending it for everybody, and it's something that must be emulated. But let me not talk so much. I have some response from the comment of people who watched the program last week. They're actually commending what is also happening in Gombe State. This really, I say, dear presenter, I believe God has been great in this country, Nigeria, but our security agencies need to brace up, especially the police. It's a task given to them to work efficiently and put a smile in our local areas and community. Other states should emulate what is happening in Gombe State. We commend the Commissioner of Police and all his team. That is from Felix Oshike. Thank you very much, Felix. Yeah, send in your messages or your questions. We'll take it up on this program. But let's continue with that report.
In Gombe State, a new Commissioner of Police, Austin Iwa, was appointed for the state by the then Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, in September 2015. Commissioner of Police Iwa came to Gombe State with clear-cut ideas of changing the ineffective and archaic form of policing with what is now in line with international best practices of community policing and engagement with the communities.
I have been involved in community policing for many years, since 2003. At a point in my career, I was head of community policing for about 5 years or 4 years. And having been posted here as Commissioner of Police, it was very obvious that that was the program I was going to introduce. So what we have done is to introduce community policing. Essentially, it's allowing people to be involved in to have a say and to be involved in how they are being policed through engagements, through collaborations, through problem solving, through identifying root causes of problems and finding solutions to them. And let me tell you, in any society, any community, the solutions to every problem, to any problem in any community is right there in the community. You don't have to go to any place. You don't have to import any solution. It's right there. And it's for us to identify those solutions and strategically apply them to the problems in partnership with everybody. Everybody in the community is involved. So that is one thing that we have done to make sure that we introduce community policing, full-fledged community policing here. And we're lucky because the government supports it. The government, when I came here, I had discussions with the governor, and I told the governor that this is what we are going to be doing in introducing community policing. And we went ahead and developed a crime prevention and community safety strategy that we're implementing. It has a lot of components, but one of the key components is a social crime prevention strategy that focuses on criminalized youths and youths that are at risk of being criminalized. There are several ways you can use to prevent crime. I mean, one of the ways is called a developmental approach, where people at young age are brought up to be good people, are introduced to good values, to be very productive people in our society. And sometimes we use instruments like Boy Scouts, like Boys Brigade. You find young kids as early as 7 years joining these value-oriented societies where they are trained and brought up as leaders, as people that are committed to their societies. I, for one, have been influenced through my life because most of my life I was a Boy Scout. So I still have the traces of the training that I underwent as a Boy Scout. And so that is one aspect. Another aspect is the social crime prevention, which is carried out by police in collaboration with people. And within this context, you look at people that are being criminalized or at risk of being criminalized. You look at what you can do to extricate them from the things that can, make them to be criminals. And you discover, in this case, in our state here, we discovered that most of these young boys and girls are dropouts from school, and secondly, some of them don't even have anything to do. They don't have anything, so they are available to be used by criminals, or like they say, an idle mind is a devil workshop. So those are our focus, those criminalized youths and those that are at risk of being criminalized. And what we did here through our social crime prevention is to look for those that want to go back to school. We had a very big workshop early part of this year where we had about 700 youths that were gathered in a primary school here. We took them through counseling processes, through lectures. We included some clergies, both Muslim and Christian clergies, and some NGOs in town to conduct the counseling sessions. And then we were able to get some that wanted to go back to school. And so we conceptualized the back to school program. So as I speak, about 185 of them are going back to school this September. And secondly, there are some youths that don't want to go back to school, but they want to have something to be doing. And so we identified certain skills that they can be trained in. Things like tailoring, things like cosmetology, even agric projects like poultry farming and other areas, several areas like that, blacksmithing and all that. Anything that can take these young people and put them into positive aspects of human existence, we have done. We have close to 2,000 young people now that we have rescued from the bad side of the streets. And I'm sure you have met some of them that are doing positive things. So it is not as if police job is solely about arrest and detention, because that, for us, we have discovered that it hasn't been able to solve the problem. So we're looking at the root cause. If you are able to prevent crime, then you will save resources in running after criminals. And the strategy we adopt here, the skill acquisition strategy and other strategies, is part of crime prevention. It's called social crime prevention. And it has worked very well for us here. We have the support and the backing of the government. As a matter of fact, about 150 young people that were trained in one of the skill acquisition centers here, the government has promised to buy all that they need to start them up. We have engaged the Bank of Industry. We are talking with the Bank of Industry here. We are talking with the Ministry of Industries, and there are also some other international organizations that I may not want to mention now because we are still talking, that are interested in coming on board to help support the programs we have here. The first set of 250 youths we trained them in paint manufacturing, test coat and emulsion. We have arranged them into 5 cooperative societies, organized them into 5 cooperative societies, and the Ministry of Industry is now supervising their work. We are hoping that with time we'll be able to create a paint manufacturing hub. We will support them to create a paint manufacturing hub, just like you find mechanic village and timber village in other parts of the country. We are looking at creating a paint manufacturing village with those 250 youths that we trained.
Employing the time-tested concept of proper planning brings good results. Commissioner of Police Iwa ensures that they plan for anticipated threats and developed the performance value strategy.
We are celebrating 2 things here. We are celebrating Nigeria's independence, and we are also celebrating the creation of Gombe State. And this is a planning that started about 4 months back. The security planning started about 4 months back. It's not just 1 week ago or 2 weeks ago. We looked at all the threats that this festival period, this celebration may face, and we had planned for each of the threats. Both deployment of intelligence, deployment of patrols, the sensitization of the people on radio, television, sensitization took place, engagement with all strata, even the miscreants. We had to engage with them at their level. We went to them, I went to all of them, and we engaged with them and spoke to them the importance of having a peaceful celebration. So it was, and all the security agencies came together. We held more than 12 meetings in my office here, and it was marvelous. So I didn't anticipate any problem, but of course not everything went perfectly, but I can score 98% of the performance of the security agencies, at least 98% score. The other 2%, it's some unforeseen areas that we didn't see to cover. But you can see the Durbar went very well. You were there. We had more than 300,000 people in the Durbar, and we were able to manage the crowd very well. And this is the first time after more than 10 years that we've had a Durbar here because of insecurity. And also in the stadium, you saw the way the Independence Parade. I'm sure that the last time they had an Independence Parade here, probably 10 years back or more than 10 years back. But everything went on successfully. And I'm proud of the officers of the state, the police officer and the security agencies, the state director of security services, the commander of the 301, the military commander of the 301 battalion here, and the civil defense, and everybody was involved. Everybody was involved. We had one template, one strategic plan, one operational plan. The thing is that even for us here, we are looking for more hands, more policemen, but essentially it's about the deployment strategy. We have developed a deployment strategy here that affords us to identify areas of need and then you prioritize all the areas of need and see where we need more policemen and where we need few police personnel. So that's why any area that we have analyzed and seen that this area requires more police personnel, we try to make sure that we cover that area. Everything in this state, everything the police does in this state is based on a plan. It's based on a study of the situation, and then we plan to implement. And we have a club of young officers that are ready to learn and also to work, that are dedicated. And so in terms of manpower, even though we have problems, we need more manpower, we try as much as possible to balance the areas of need and cover up. Yes, it's part of the strategy. Our strategy here is that only 20% of the police force should be in the office. Only 20%. Even in the headquarters here, only 20% are in the office. The rest 80% are policing the public, are involved in crime prevention activities, involved in patrols, involved in community engagement, involved in partnership, working with people. Even at the police stations, all the police stations, every police station has a strategy. And manpower deployment strategy is such that only 20% of the manpower in the police station is working in the offices. The other 80% are out, engaging with people and working with people, partnering with people, and all that. So that's the strategy that we have adopted. That is why you see very few people in the headquarters. We only need people that are productive in the headquarters, people that are working in productive areas. We don't have a situation where people are just sitting around, or you don't go to any office in this headquarters and see somebody just sitting and lying down or just malingering, as we say. You can't find it in this state. You must have a specific responsibility. And we have a performance evaluation framework for every police officer that we've developed. Right now what we're doing is we are carrying out an evaluation of the performance of all police stations in the state and look at the gaps and see where to cover. Because here the police divisions are classified in leagues. We have made the police stations to operate like a league, like you have the English Premiership League. That's what we have done here. So there's competition between the police stations. Each police station has a target. Each police station has an objective. And so each one tries to outdo the other one in terms of their performance. And of course, we try to make sure that there's a reward system also for these performances. And every police station is mandated to have a youth program. You must have a youth development program. Every police station must engage with communities. Every week, you must engage with at least 3 different communities in your area of jurisdiction. It may be either the traditional rulers or the motor park people or the market people, any organized body in your division, any place that, any area of responsibilities where you don't have organized body, the police is mandated to make sure that they mobilize communities to establish those bodies. Or anywhere we find where there's a problem, like recently we discovered that one of the markets here, they have a problem of leadership. We went in to intervene to make sure that problem is dealt with, and the leadership is now on stream. Because if something goes wrong, we will be the people that will be called upon. And so we had several meetings of the association, one of the biggest cattle markets in Nigeria. We will be held responsible for not intervening. So we don't wait. We are very proactive. We are not waiting for something to happen before we respond. We look for the problems. We look at the areas where development is difficult, and we approach them. We tell them that, look, let's work together and solve your problem. We have a robust operation system, but then again the Inspector General of Police said that we should upgrade and establish a joint operation center So we have already established our Joint Operations Center, and I think I took you there to see how it's operating. We have the Joint Operations Center, the operation room, and then we have the situation room, where officers from other security agencies and also officers with the police sit together in a round table and brainstorm on issues affecting the state and look for solutions and also respond to ongoing situations in the communities.
The policing style of the Gombe State Police Command has become a model for all other states in Nigeria.
Even right now, the police we have now is not the same with the police we had 5 years back. It's not the same with the police we had 10 years back or 20 years back. There are improvements. Police reform is not an event. It's not an event. It's not a one. It's a process. To reform the police is a process. It's a continuous process. And we are lucky we've had inspectors generals that are focused on police reform. The current inspector general of police, if you look at his agenda, you will discover that this is an agenda that takes us further than we are today. You know, his agenda is predicated on developing a police that is international. You know, he is a man that has international background, so he knows what international policing is. He knows what international best practice is. So what he is doing now is to ensure that we reach that level and are guided by international best practice. And I think we will be there. I think it will be there very soon. We will be there. We only need the support of members of our communities and also the different levels of government to provide the necessary resources that will enable the Inspector General of Police achieve his vision. What we are doing here is workable in any part of the country. As a matter of fact, what we are trying to do is to set ourselves as a model for other police commands to emulate, and also to see how certain things we are doing here can be used in their command. So it's a model. But you know, as a model, we are building it. We are looking at challenges here and there. It's not yet Uhuru. We are still yet to arrive at where we want. But I think so far we are comfortable with where we have a vision. We have a roadmap where we're seeing where we are going. So far, despite resource deficiencies, and we are still on course.
If not because of the cooperation we are enjoying, that is a cordial relationship between the police and the people of Gombe State, we should not have achieved all we have achieved in these years, especially during this security challenges we are facing in the Northeast. So we thank them most sincerely, and we are calling on them to continue giving the police force maximum cooperation they required.
We cannot have a very chaos environment and at the same time developing the environment. We know if we have a war or a kind of insurgency thing, your mind cannot even come together to develop the area where we are living. But this man is a very strong-minded person. He has a very strong heart to see the society, Gombe State, live in peace, because being the governor of the state and the chief security of the state, he found it very, very easy for him to rule the state by having a very good, peaceful environment in the state, because he listened to all these service chiefs, listened to their complaint, listened to all the advices they are going to give him for the state to have to live in peace. So by such kind of giving listening ears to all those that advises him to do this, to do that, that's how we live in a very harmonious environment. So many people from outside states, even from outside the world, likes to come to Gombe and invest.
Youths are seen as the future of the nation, and Commissioner of Police Austin Iwa agrees.
The youth of today is our future. The youth is the future of this country.
Thanks for staying tuned. Welcome to your program, Security Watch Africa. Yes, just like the Commissioner of Police did say, the youth is our future. Some said, well, how prepared are these youths, or how is the society preparing the youth for the future of this country? Yeah, I have a mail here. Let me quickly take it because the time is not on my side now. But let me take this mail from Adeleke Olatunde. He says, I am listening and watching Security Watch Africa on AIT. In fact, what I saw was encouraging. Policing job extend more than arresting criminals, etc. My advice to federal government is that they should empower and equip police to be more efficient. Thank you very much, Olatunde. I'm sure you are in line with what the Commissioner of Police is talking about. We must leave now for other programs to continue. Send us your views and your response to some of the things that have been said so that we can take it up next week. Until we come here again next week, we'll say bye for now.